Well, the biggest challenge with rallycross is the fact that we're on two different surfaces, tarmac and gravel.
Rallycross is a massive mix in driving styles, rally and road racing styles, because you have to be able to drive very cleanly, brake in a straight line, turn the car, do as little sideways movements as possible with the car to keep speed up. But then on the gravel, you have to be able to do Scandinavian flicks and handbrake entries and sometimes backwards entries and clutch kicking.
It's a lot about car control and having this slide and controlling the slide. And it's not so much about learning precisely every single braking point and apex point and so on as in racing, because the car is moving around more. So you'll have to go with this flow that gets into the car and feel the rhythm on your back.
Yeah, of course you need to feel it in your ass where it's slippery.
Yeah, you really need to feel it in your ass. Like all the time in motorsport, when you grow up and start driving, you create this feeling.
Yeah, that is the key. You can see that many people coming and then slide after the corner, and that is a safe driving basically. When you come and you go sideways on the exit. In
the tarmac, you want to be calm, easy on the steering wheel, easy on the throttle and brake. But then all of a sudden you have the dirt and you want to be aggressive and driving in 110% and throwing it into the corners and go hard on the throttle to get the car into the corner and stuff like that.
So like on the dirt sections, rotating the car is probably the best way to explain it, and when and where to rotate is the key, and it normally depends on how brave you are. The braver the driver, the earlier they can rotate.
You have to time it in the way that you want to, and there is where the anticipation comes in, that you have to start this rotation before you have actually gotten into the corner, because you know that you will need to have the car in position. That's why you need to start a rotation and get it there to go out.
So you put up the car very sideways before the corner, and then you should have quite straight on the exit. That is the fastest way.
Because that's efficient. You have no other choice now. If you want to be competitive, you have to adopt the right driving style, which is efficient.
People think that we are just throwing the cars into the corners and it looks nice and going sideways, but it's not the fastest way.
Because in the past people used to slide just because the setup of the car was not good enough to drive on the grip limit.
To rotate the car is where the whole trick is, and it's a big balance between different driving styles rotate differently. In rallycross there are the drivers that slide a lot and that's a big rotation, or the drivers that drive very clean and that's a small rotation. I think it's about both loading the car on the brake and making the first input into the turn, and here is where smoothness come in. And even in rallying, where you're sliding a lot, you shouldn't be aggressive and throwing the car, because it has no time to get this rotation that you want.
I don't think it's needed to slide more. Some drivers do and some do less. It's because we have so much power. It's easy to overdrive the cars and just hit the gas and you get more sideways.
But in the small inputs with a smooth steering and smooth braking, then the car will have time to find its way and start rotating. And you will feel behind the wheel like you have a lot more time than when you're driving aggressively, and also it's going faster.
It depends of the type of corner. On a hairpin with a four-wheel drive car with a lot of traction and power, usually it's good to do a short way and to rotate as quickly as possible, to accelerate, not to slide a long time in the corner, because this will be again lost time.
Sometimes we may need to add a little bit of handbrake, which just unlocks the diffs and will let the car rotate a little more. If we really needed to rotate a lot, we really pull on the handbrake, which then locks up the tires in the rear and may lock them up as long as we need to get the right amount of rotation that we need.
We don't plan, when we do setup work, we do not talk about the handbrake. It's at one stage if you need it or not, but that very often comes to the size of the corner. But normally for setup work we don't use the word handbrake.
First lap is the most important thing, but you're never cruising,
Yeah, the start is a big thing in rallycross for sure. It's a big drag and it's like door-to-door racing. You want to be the first into the first corner.
The rallycross is supposed to be a non-contact sport, and it's a bit of a grey area whenever anyone asks, because in the rule book, yeah, it's a non-contact sport and you're not supposed to touch. But on the other hand, this is a very loose sport where the car's moving around a lot, and you kind of have to allow for certain situations to happen.
For sure, many people have different philosophies on the setup, you know, but over the last 2 years on the World Championship, I focus on traction and gravel. So if I hit gravel, I pull away very quickly.
I think it's, for myself, it can be gravel, it can be tarmac. It's depending on what setup we run for the moment, because it's always a compromise here.
Exactly that, it's one big compromise. For the driving, for the car setups, for the racing style, it's one big compromise. You can never do it. It never goes to plan, it can never go perfectly. It's just how well it went compared to what you had planned out, you know. So Rallycross is one big compromise, and it's who has the best compromise on the day.